I was sitting in my car outside a cheap hotel in Billings, Montana, gripping the steering wheel like it was the only thing keeping me from falling apart. My wedding ring caught the sunlight, mocking me. My phone buzzed, his name on the screen. Not my husband's. His. The voice I should have hung up on weeks ago. The voice that turned into late-night texts, secret laughs, and hotel keys. I was 38, married for 12 years. I had never done anything like this. But here I was, wearing lipstick I had not worn in years, praying no one saw me walk in. All of it started with one angry phone call, a complaint, a stranger, and a lie I whispered to myself. This is nothing. But it was never nothing. And now I was about to throw away everything. Before I take you deeper into this story, I want to say thank you. To every subscriber, your support means more than you know. And if you are new or just watching without subscribing yet, thank you so much for being here. I truly cannot wait for you to hit that subscribe button. It is the fuel that keeps this channel alive and stories like this flowing. Please do not forget to drop your thoughts in the comments. I read every one. Now, let me take you back to where it all began. My name is Brenda. I live in a quiet neighborhood in Montana with my husband Russell, who is 40 and works in construction management. We are that couple who hosts barbecues in the summer and files taxes early. But that year, something shifted. Russell was not unkind. He was just tired. We both were. Our conversations became routine. Our silences heavier. He started falling asleep to the television every night, and I started falling asleep feeling invisible. One afternoon, I called the customer service line of a streaming company. I was furious. A double charge, some technical issue. I honestly do not even remember now. But I remember his voice. Thank you for calling. My name is Jacob. I am here to help. He was 25, I would learn later. Polite, calm, and surprisingly witty. He asked questions about the issue, but also about my day. And when I said, I am just frustrated with everything lately, he paused. Then he said, I get it. People rarely call us when they are having a good day. I do not know why that hit me, but it did. We stayed on the line longer than we should have. Long after the problem was resolved, we were still talking. I told myself it was fine. It was not like I was flirting, just talking. 2 days later, I received a text. Hey Brenda, it is Jacob. I hope your weekend is better than your Thursday. I stared at it for 5 minutes before replying. Thanks. So far, no complaints. And that was it. The beginning of something I would not be able to undo. Over the next week, we texted every day. At first, it was jokes, updates, little nothings. Then it became longer messages. Personal stuff. He asked what made me happy. What I wanted to do if no one was watching. He told me I sounded like someone who had forgotten she was allowed to be excited. And somehow, that felt romantic. One Friday afternoon, he sent, I will be in town this weekend. Want to meet for coffee? My stomach turned. I typed no 3 times. Deleted it. Typed sure once. Sent it. He told me to meet him in the lobby of a downtown hotel. The coffee shop there is quiet, he said. But when I walked through the doors and saw the room key in his hand, that I did not turn around. I told myself I was just going for coffee. That was the lie that made it easier to put on mascara and leave my wedding ring in the center console. The lobby was quiet, clean, forgettable, but nothing about that afternoon would ever leave me. Jacob stood by the window, wearing a black hoodie and jeans. He looked younger than I imagined. Softer, maybe. But when his eyes met mine, I felt something dangerous, like he could see through the smile I wore for the world, like he already knew I was broken. Hi, I said. He handed me the key card. If you just want coffee, we can get coffee. He was giving me an out, but I did not take it. After that day, everything unraveled faster than I could control. I started deleting messages, using a second phone. I would tell Russell I was going to the store or to visit a friend. He never asked questions. That hurt more than anything, his trust, his comfort in routine, how he never imagined I would be the one lying. Jacob and I met twice a week, sometimes in hotels, sometimes just driving around, talking for hours in the dark. I told him things I had not said out loud in years, that I felt invisible in my own house, that I missed being seen, that I missed being wanted. He listened like no one else had in a long time, and he spoke like he had nothing to lose. "Does your husband know you are unhappy?" he asked one night as we sat in his car outside a frozen gas station. "I do not think he would know what to do with the truth," I said. Jacob never pressured. He never told me to leave Russell, but he also never asked me to stay faithful. His presence gave me permission to drift further. One evening, I got home late. I had forgotten to turn off my second phone and left it in my purse. I was in the kitchen when I heard it vibrate. Russell was standing in the hallway. My purse was open. He held up the phone. "New work line?" he asked. My blood went cold. I nodded. "Yes." "Something for client calls." He did not press. He just said, "You used to smile like that at me," and walked away. I stood in the kitchen for 10 minutes, staring at the floor, knowing what he meant. That look I gave my phone, the glow on my face, the hunger I had forgotten I still carried. It was not for him anymore. That was the night I realized I had crossed from fantasy into betrayal. Jacob sent a message later that night. "You looked sad today. You okay?" I typed, "I am not sure who I am anymore," but I did not send it. I just turned off both phones, sat in the dark, and listened to my husband snore from the next room. It did not end with a fight, or a discovery, or some dramatic confession in the middle of the night. No. It ended with a look from a man who had known me for over a decade, a man who had built a life with me, painted walls beside me, buried pets, celebrated anniversaries. A man who had learned the silence between my words. Russell placed his coffee mug down one morning and said, "I knew something was off the moment you started locking your phone." I froze. He continued, "But I really knew when you started humming again. You used to do that when we were first dating, and then it stopped. For years. Now it is back. But it is not for me, is it?" I could not speak. My throat burned with words I would never be able to form. "I will not ask you to explain," he said. "Just tell me if you are done here." I wanted to say no. I wanted to scream that I was sorry, that it was all a mistake, that I still loved him, but I said nothing, and that was louder than anything. Jacob did not stick around for long after that. He stopped replying as quickly. Then he stopped replying altogether. I texted once, then twice. Then I deleted his number. Because the truth is, Jacob was never mine. He was a moment, a mirror, a stranger who saw the cracks and stepped in, only to vanish when the pieces fell apart. I moved into a small rental house on the edge of town. The walls are too quiet. The nights are too long. And every room reminds me of what I traded for attention. Russell did not fight me. He did not beg me to stay. He let me go like someone releasing something they once loved but no longer recognized. It has been 8 months since the day I walked into that hotel. I still wear my wedding ring on a chain around my neck. Not because I want him back, but because I want to remember who I used to be. I wanted to feel seen. That is all. But in chasing that feeling, I became invisible to the only person who ever really knew me. If you are still watching, thank you for listening to my story. Tell me in the comments. Have you ever wanted something so badly, only to lose everything once you got it? Do you believe one mistake defines who we are forever? Let me know your thoughts. I am reading every single one. Please like, share, and subscribe if this story touched you in any way. That one click is what helps stories like mine reach more hearts. Until next time, be careful who you let see you. Because some eyes are only there to watch you fall.